Hello, dear students and viewers. Our today's topic is going to be investigation report again. Part 1 of the topic has been covered in the last lecture, and the remaining portion about the investigation report is being covered now. Mainly in today's lecture, we shall be trying to understand the good and bad of the investigation report. We had in detail talked about yesterday what is investigation report, and now it is only good and bad, and some of the parts may also be highlighted in this. So, entering into investigation report pros and cons. First of all, there are three C's of good report, and three C's are clear, complete, and concise. Clear means that there should be clarity in the language, there should be the language or the sentences should be logically connected or coherently connected with each other. We had studied in paragraph writing that if something is to be called good, it needs to be connected with each other. Its parts needs to be connected with each other via coherence or via the logic or idea. So in that way, if something is written by us, if it is connected in that way, language is clear, we shall say that report is clear. So investigation report has to be clear with these references. The second C of the investigation report is the completeness. That means whatever documents are required, they must be complete and these must be attached with the report also. If, for example, if there are some addresses or some issues, these need to be resolved. That should be talked about as well. It means whatever the relevant things are with reference to the investigation report, every document in completion should be present in the investigation report. Then it has to be concise. By concise, we mean it should be brief, but it should not be brief at the cost of information. So it has to be brief, but in a very particular way. For example, mostly direct talk should be done that will create its conciseness. It should be talked about simply in simple way and straightforward way so that the reader can read it very well. It will be concise then. And then whatever the verbosity is there, that may be removed. I mean, extra or superfluous words which have been used, they may be removed and the report will become concise. So in this way, there are three C's of a good investigation report, that is clear, complete, and concise. Which report should be called a well-written report? Number one, use appropriate style, adopt the correct tone, be impartial, be professional, avoid common writing pitfalls. It means most of the things are relevant to writing, the writing style. Appropriate writing style is not only simple, but also understandable, that everyone who reads it may be able to capture what the investigator wants to say. In the same way, the well writtenness of the report can also be determined on the basis of the impartiality of the writer and professionalism of the writer. That the writer should write the report, should not try to meddle with the report. In the same way, the problems which can occur should be avoided at all. These problems will be discussed later on, what can be there. But so far, the situation is that the writer has to be very good in his style and impartial and professional. Only then the report can be called a good report. These are the pitfalls, for example, as was talked in the last slide. Avoid the pitfalls. The pitfalls are here. For example, if you do not consider who is going to be your audience, you will write a report which will be beyond audience and report will not be understandable. In the same way, we are not writing a drama, we are not writing a screenplay, we are writing an investigation report. So dialogue type or with some specific expression type, this writing is not required. In the same way, sometimes the verbs can be used as nouns and nouns can be used as verbs. This could be confusing. The writer should avoid and use clear verbs and nouns which are either used as verbs or used as nouns. Make findings that relate to the relevant policy. The writer has to take care of the policy, and after that, he has to take care of the findings as well. How much they are related with each other, that the writer should be talking. Do not purport to draw conclusions of law. Law is fixed, law is made by the people, and then law can be considered while writing a writing a report. But we have no the person who writes the report, he has got no right to interpret the law. That person will simply mention the law and mention his report as per his discoveries or investigations. That person is not required to investigate the law. The words are really very important. Whenever we want to talk about anything, the words become really very much important. Whatever words we use, the meaning will be there in the same way. For example, what should we do when we are writing a report? We should use impartial and neutral verbs. Use exactly descriptive verbs. We should avoid passive tense. Be consistent in the tenses. I mean, sometime past, sometime present, it's not right. Avoid unnecessary adjectives. Wherever we can avoid the adjectives, it's not necessary to use the adjectives. Readability analysis. I mean, the analysis we write should be readable. Sometimes the analysis is written in such a way that a common person cannot understand. So, we need to avoid all information which is not needed. And we should take care of the grammar as well as that of the punctuation also. The writer, therefore, has to use the language or the words which are impartial, and they have the same meaning most of the time as the meaning is intended mostly by the writers. So, in this way, as the words matter very much, so the writer has to be very clear about the words. Then, communicating report, how to produce and communicate the report. For this purpose, we may be asking some questions to ourselves. What draft review should be undertaken? What documents should be attached to the final report? What precautions should be taken for the electronic version of the report? Who should get the final report? So these questions should be asked first of all before you send your report to someone. I mean, whether the report needs the review or not. If it needs the review, then it should go through the review. If it doesn't need the review, then it should be sent. Same is the case to ask about the documents which are attached, checking whether documents are attached or they are not attached. When the report will be converted into electronic form or electronic form into physical form, what is the difference which is coming? That should be checked. Similarly, target is what? Who is the person to whom the report is to be sent? All these things should be considered before sending the report. Some of the essentials are here. When the report is produced, first review the draft. You should have somebody around you, maybe your friend, maybe your colleague, who should help you in editing and reviewing the report. That person may be called a buddy, and that person be helpful in repeating, in reviewing, in checking anything bad in the report. It can help the people to make a better decision. When the report is in the final phases, we need to see whether the exhibits are attached or not. Any of the documents which are required, they are attached. What is the file format required? Are we doing in the same way as the file format is required, or we are not doing? Same is the case with the securing of the file. I mean, sometimes the security of the file may be in trouble, that the people can, you can say, steal the report, steal the data, and in order to avoid that, what is the security of the report? And then how the report will be delivered to the person intending. All these things should be considered before the report is sent to the person concerned. What are the report exhibits? Common practice about the report exhibits is that include as a part of the report all exhibits and documents relied upon as exhibits. I mean, whatever the document has been used by the report writer may be attached with that. These are the report exhibits. Sometimes we put all the report exhibits with the report, or sometimes we do not do so. Sometimes, like here, stand-alone view. Keep all documents and other evidences relied upon in the separate file. So instead of attaching sometimes these exhibits, separately they can be handled as well. So in this way, report exhibits are also to be considered, attached with, or kept in a separate file as well. Security of the report. Online security is very difficult, however, encryption is one of the ways through which the report can be secured. Similarly, for this purpose, we can use Microsoft Document Inspector to remove hidden text from MS Word's document. So in that way also security can be ensured. Then Adobe protection option can be used by converting the file into PDF. PDF files are very unlikely to be converted or changed. But whatever the case may be, the purpose of all these three things is that the report may be secured and it may not be damaged, it may not be stolen by someone else. Now when the report is ready, it should be communicated. One way of communicating the report is to put it through a letter. Then it can be done for the purpose employees can be used in order to see if the complaint of the employee is there. Then the final decision may be made and parties concerned may be told that this is the situation. In the same way, investigation goes on and the responsible officers may be pointed out, responsible management may be pointed out, and all these things combined together can receive the report as well. So whatever report has been generated, it should be conveyed to all these people which are relevant. Some more facts are here. For example, remember that your investigation can only be as good as your report of it. Investigation and writing of the report both depend on each other. If your investigation were good, the report will be well written, and if the report is badly written, good investigation can turn into something bad. Begin your investigation with the exemplar report outline to serve as an checklist as for your investigation. It means that we should start our investigation by comparing it with some other report also. Frame the investigation and use your report on the rule or policy at the issue. Then we should mention about the policy. Begin the actual writing of your report with background scope. These things should be mentioned before we continue with the report. Striving to document your factual, timely, and thorough investigation in a clear, complete, and concise report. These three C's should be observed before completion of the report. So in this way, we have seen that some good things and some bad things of the report are presented in this short video. So all of you are required to watch this again and again, make your point of view, and more notes will be provided for this short video as well on this topic as well. In this way, we have covered with the investigation what investigation is going to be. Thank you for watching.